Greetings, friends. I am Obsidian. Just recently, we saw the incredible episode that was episode 72, but earlier today, we got the full episode with an extra scene which was incredibly sussy. Today, I will talk about the secret scene, what could happen in 73, and give you some of my theories for the future plot of SKIBIDI Toilet. But before we get into today's video, make sure you subscribe to me so you don't miss future analysis and theory videos from me. Also, give my video a like as it will help me. Let's begin. As mentioned, earlier on today, Dafuk Boom released the full episode of 72, which included a secret scene with the damaged large TV man, also known as Polycephaly and the Scientist TV man, and a new scene revealing the survival of the Strider camera. The new scene takes place after episode 72 part 2 ends. After Titan cameraman says, "For plunger," he flies away in anger, going the same direction that his best friend went to, and G-Man. Then we pan over to the remaining broken-off detainer Astro Toilet arm, and we see Scientist TV man teleporting in with large TV man. During this scene, we saw them take the tech of the Astro Toilets and have a very interesting conversation. In the closed captions, they both say something completely different, but somewhat similar to what they're saying when it's reversed. In the closed captions, the Scientist TV man says, "Take this to the lab," obviously showing that they're going to be using this technology now to get better upgrades to be able to combat against the Astro Toilets. Then large TV man says, "This is bigger than the Titan's sword," probably referring to the blade in his arm, or maybe something else which he does state in the reversed version. But let's not get into that because we all know how sussy the TV race is with their very suspicious words. Then the Scientist TV man says, "Confidential," before large TV man teleports away with the arm and Scientist TV man teleporting away after him. This probably means that Scientist TV man does not want the Astro Toilets to know that they have their technology ready on their side, so that they get attacked by surprise. But why would they be taking the technology of the Astro Toilets back to their base specifically? During episode 54, when the mech scientist cameraman killed the glitch toilet with the dart gun, the technology of the toilet was taken back to camera base so they could put it to use and let plunger cameraman use it, which will suggest that the tech of the Astro Toilets will be studied, and as I mentioned in a previous video, their tech could be technologically advanced more so than the whole of the Alliance, since they are most likely from outer space. The study of the weapon dropped by detainer Astro Toilet could also mean that they could produce a counter-weapon that would counter the attacks of the Astro Toilets and thus cause an issue for the Astro Toilets overall and make them less powerful with the Alliance having the technology of the Astro Toilets. But as we all know, the Astros could potentially make something that can outweigh the previous weapons they did have. And this is why the secret agent knows they are dangerous and a big threat. And this is why they cannot know about the Alliance all having parts of their tech, or else they'll know how to create something better to counter the tech. Anyway, before the secret scene ends, we hear a noise around us and we, as the main scientist cameraman, go through the flames to check what is. But we get no damage. We merely get a little camera glitch. It seems like the main scientist cameraman has a resistance that is greater than that of the normal cameraman. I think this is the case because he most likely got his self-endurance and body improved to be more resistant after he got cut in two, back in episode 48, and as the main scientist cameraman, he would have improvements specifically of his own, just like the scientist toilet in the SKIBIDI Toilet side. Anyway, we moved to go see what made the noise, but before we approach. Did you see that? If we zoom into the mountain at the top of the screen as we are moving, we see a figure. And not just any ordinary figure because they have a green flash on them if we look closely. As we know, the secret agent used to be the one to hide in the background from time to time, and sometimes he showed up with a green glow, so anything to do with the color green is automatically connected with him. Dafuk Boom. Most recently though, we've seen other characters do this. His apprentices, his agents. Notably, we've seen this happen with the twin green cameramen in episode 70, where we thought they had died on episode 69, but then they were revealed to still be alive in episode 70, showing that they probably turned invisible before they died, because that is what the secret agent wanted them to do. And they obeyed, because they're fully under his control, and they only revealed themselves to help the assassin duo get to the scientist toilet and to show plunger cameraman the secret agent's message for him. But whenever they did the secret agent's work, at the moment, their flashes turned completely green, showing who is really in control in the grand scheme of things at the moment. What I'm getting at is that this figure is one of the twin green cameramen They appeared in the backgrounds of episode 70 twice, and one of them appeared faintly in the background before G-Man showed up in this episode, when the mutant police toilet was flipping off the POV, and now, one of them appears again, much clearly than earlier on in this episode, and he is clearly able to be seen, because there are no transmission errors in this episode when they're around from time to time, which could mean that's a way in which the Alliance can find that something may be off, and they're slowly but surely replacing the secret agent's old roles so that the secret agent stays secret now more than ever, especially since he knows how big of a threat the Astro toilets are. I'm guessing that one of them is there to watch the battle and report to the secret agent that the Alliance now has Astro toilet technology, because he was clearly watching everything. Anyway, the scene ends with the main scientist cameraman walking to the heavily damaged, upgraded camera Strider and giving him a thumbs up. The scene ends there, but interestingly enough, his main light never went out, so I hope that this camera Strider can return in some way, maybe even upgraded with Astro technology, because I don't think that scene was shown without a reason, and maybe Mech Scientist Cameraman will be the one to upgrade him since he is there and is a scientist, so he can easily upgrade him to become even more durable and resistant than he is right now. And he was very durable this time around, to be able to have survived that attack from G-Man. And we showed a thumbs up, which means that the episode ended in our favor. Now on to some possible episode 73 ideas and theories that I have in my mind and what we could be seeing, and also the possibility of the future plot and what I feel. If the episode continues to stay in the same area where the recent battles have taken place, then we could be seeing what is in the containers, and since Defook himself said that episode 73 is an exciting episode, I feel as though the containers will help us to understand the plot even better and will reveal where the series could be going once this reveal has happened. Like I said in a previous video, the Alliance could potentially team up with the toilets like they have in Monster Up's universe and get rid of the Astro toilets, but once that happens, what is next? Could it mean that once that has happened, that the toilets turn on the Alliance and see them as the threat again? Also, in episodes 73 and 74, I think that G-Man could possibly die soon, and I think that Titan Cameraman will be the one to kill him to avenge Plunger Cameraman. I think Titan TV Man will get all his rounds in, but Titan Cameraman will be the one to deliver the final blow. I think G-Man could die soon, especially because the secret agent said that bigger threats are coming, and G-Man is clearly not one of them, so G-Man is barely a blip in his radar, which shows that G-Man is not really that big of a threat, and unironically, that could have just foreshadowed his death. I also think that if G-Man does die, the Alliance will take his body back to one of their bases to reconstruct G-Man, making him look like he's still alive, but being operated by a special agent, which could mean that G-Man is indirectly working with the Alliance, except that wouldn't be him for real though. That would be a decoy, this time on the Alliance's side, after so many G-Man decoys that made the Alliance have a lot of trouble. I think that this would be their way of having a good and effective payback. This plan can also be used to trick the SKIBIDI toilets to go against their own kind and the Astro toilets to get lured into a trap by the Alliance. Now on to something that I have been thinking about a great deal, and it could be part of the future plot of SKIBIDI toilet overall. What if the Astro toilets aren't the real threat, but Secret Agent is? This would make sense because if you think back to episode 70 part 3, Dark Speakerman and Plunger Cameraman were walking into the room where the scientist was, and he was having a conversation with the secret agent, who told him, "My little pawn will kill you." This would suggest that the real threat is in fact the secret agent, since he seems to be working for both sides, and only sees the Alliance as pawns in his chess game, and doesn't really care about anyone but his own wants and needs. But what would that be? What is his endgame? To take over the world. When we also saw the poster in the secret room during episode 70 part 2, the scientists did not look happy with the choice of new administrator, and the real reason for it being kept secret is because he had some evil plans under his belt, such as creating the SKIBIDI virus to test on some of the scientists at Alpha Hills Labs. But the experiment itself went wrong, and Secret Agent either fled or was thrown out. I feel as though the plot will eventually be that the toilets and the Alliance team up to take out the Secret Agent, as someone could have mentioned him in passing, and that in turn means they will begin to perceive him as the threat and not the toilets, and vice versa. If you think about it, once the Alliance have dealt with the Astro toilets, who's next? I'd imagine that the Secret Agent would want to kill off the Alliance members after some of them have served his plans directly or indirectly to achieve his goals. and that's why I think he's the main villain here. Not only that, but he's literally, if not very similar to G-Man from Half-Life, who was the main villain for most of the Half-Life series. So having the secret agent be the real main villain would not be surprising, especially since he has shown to have very similar traits to G-Man, and they even share the same essence of green. Maybe the secret agent's story goes even deeper, and it actually connects to the multiverse of Beatbox. I wouldn't be surprised if those two universes were connected, since they feature two main characters like Males 07 and Males 09, who were used as the first versions of SKIBIDI toilets in the SKIBIDI toilet universe. Dafuk even made a short of Males 07 singing the SKIBIDI toilet song, and he even turned Males 07 into a SKIBIDI toilet when he was changing his skins in the multiverse of Beatbox, and when he suddenly got combined with multiple objects in one particular video. Not only that, but Male 07 also had a genie skin that was T-posing, and that same skin was in episode 2 of SKIBIDI Toilet in the background. And besides that, the tablets look very similar to the cameraman's tablets. They had the same Baba Booey button in this universe, and also, in one of the tablets, when Male 07 and Male 09 were going to look for the other Male 07 clones, we saw a face of Male 07 that was smiling eerily just as a SKIBIDI toilet would. But the biggest part of this is that at the end of the second part of the Beatbox universe, Male 07 and Male 09 travel into another world that has an area that looks a whole lot like the GM Big City map that was used in the earlier episodes of SKIBIDI Toilet. And what's even crazier is that this animation was released after SKIBIDI Toilet was already a thing. This was released around the time that episode 8 of the SKIBIDI Toilet series was out, so they clearly found themselves in the SKIBIDI Toilet universe whilst looking for the other Males 07s and the evil Males 09 clone. But we haven't seen them yet. But maybe there is a reason. Maybe they have been turned into cameramen. Notably, Lucky Cameraman and Detective Cameraman, who I believe will work together to take down the secret agent who could be the evil Male 09 in disguise, or could be working with him. These two could have been working together to take over every universe, and the secret agent having the task to take over the SKIBIDI Toilet universe. And then, we as Lucky Cameraman, with Detective Cameraman, will be the ones to form a plan to expose the secret agent and defeat him, with the help of the other Male 07 and Male 09 from the Beatbox universe. Or if they are the same ones from the Beatbox universe, then maybe a past or future version of the Male 07 and Male 09 from the Beatbox universe would come to help us in the battle against the secret agent and the battle against the evil Male 09. And then it would almost be like Ben 10 and Ben 10,000 against the bigger threat. The same thing could be here, except it would be Males 07 as Lucky Cameraman and Males 09 as Detective Cameraman, with their future or past counterparts who have become or were human, helping them out in this fight. Maybe that is a stretch, but not impossible. However, another way I can see a similar alternative is that none of the universes interfere. But the secret agent would still get discovered, and maybe this is also why the Detective Cameraman, who we saw in a secret scene recently, is here. And I really think he could team up with Lucky Cameraman, who knows the agent well and can pass on information about him, which will mean the Detective Cameraman could potentially spy on the secret agent to gather information for the rest of the Alliance with Lucky Cameraman's help. But what do you think, friends? Do you have any theories? If you do, write them in the comments so I can read them. They are always welcome. Also, I have a Discord where you are welcome to join, and you will see leaks from all SKIBIDI series and chat to the amazing community I am building. Thank you for watching my video. I was Obsidian, and until next time, my friends,